So, some people ask me why I haven't put that door back on the hinges for a fourth time. So, when I moved in, a Raymond and a David said they didn't want to bother fixing it on the hinges because it didn't line up. But I'll show you why the hinges give you so much difficulty. So, for one, if you try to put these together, they don't fit correctly. There's not enough room. When we moved in, that space was like that. Try to tap it in. No, normally you're able just to tap it in. Usually that's all you do is tap it in. It's separated, you go, but as you can see, there's nowhere to tap it in. And there's lots of mold that will fly out of a lot of these spaces too. But now, let's look at the hinges. Now, do you see a problem with these hinges? Okay, they look good. Oh, wait a minute. The screws have no grip, where a lot of these would be in. Now, I tried to explain this to somebody. Oh, I had to use a piece of wooden splinter, and I had to use some glue to get the screws on this door to stay in the hinge. Because that door, there was no way to get the hinges into the framing, because the framing looked like this. Now, what will happen after a while? That crack will split bigger and bigger, and that crack is from the screws. Whoever originally installed this door did not put in a pilot hole. You need a pilot hole before the screw, or you get a split in the wood. Well, apparently, whoever the original installer, oh, this sticky stuff on this phone. Whoever the original installer was, didn't do that. Now, sorry about that grease. That's probably from my WD-40. Probably has to be done again. Now, I haven't done this door. This one is the original hinging that I got when I moved in. I've only sprayed some oil in there to stop a squeak. This is the original frame, just how it came, an original hinge. What I did do is I tried to adjust this an inch down so it would close. When we first moved in, this was up a little higher. All I was able to do is point the screws down a little bit in a different direction, but actually allowed me to lower it quite a bit. Before it was a little higher, there's a little mark there, and there's a lot missing from these screw holes. If you remove these, you'll see a bunch of cracks as well from the original installer. Once again, the original installer fucked this place up, as you can see. I mean, you can see from how everything is all screwed up in this place. Like, for instance, just look at that ceiling. Why would a flood in their bathroom be above my bedroom? Or how about the window outside? If you've seen from the videos, all these windows are all installed fucked uply. That's not a word. And they haven't maintained any of the windows in over 15 years. And they want to blame the tenants for their fucking mistake. Whoever moved in, they could have put a fucking stopper down there so that this doorknob wouldn't hit this. As you can see, not only that, where did this doorknob come from? That's the original doorknob that doesn't work. I had to find a box and try to get some old doorknobs to put in. And I even there was no front doorknob for the whole building apartment, because that doorknob is usually installed, and then because the last guy took it out, he probably paid for it. This one, I took it off my rent and forced the landlord to eat the cost. But I bought this and this, both of them. Now the landlord will say, "No, we had a doorknob. We left the first tenant, Raymond Hill. We left him a doorknob." No, there were two unworking. They don't work. Two halves of two other doorknobs that didn't work. They gave him a fucking never-ending, and we double-checked it. We brought it to a repair. They said, "This can't be put together. You guys understand that?" We're like, "What?" They're like, "This is two halves of two other doorknobs, and they're the opposite halves. They don't line up. You're not going to be able to install this into a door." We had to spend a whole 2 months to figure out that the landlord, maintenance guy, just handed us fucking two other halves of a doorknob. So then, after arguing with our landlord, he agreed to let us have a doorknob for our front door. We had no front doorknob, and Raymond Hill and David tried everywhere to get this doorknob in. And Raymond Hill is a literal maintenance man himself. Yes, Raymond Hill was a maintenance man only had about 10 years experience. I have some as well. I've installed only like 40 doorknobs in my life, and I've only done about 20 front doorknobs for the tenants in frickin' Lawrence. So it's not like I've not installed enough frickin' doorknobs. I've even installed that electronic doorknob stuff. Those electronic ones where you have a key pass. I did that for the first time up the street for somebody. But I had to put this in. So when I came in months after, David had no doorknob because they were living up here for months before I showed up. They had like 2 or 3 months under their belt, maybe even 6 months. I know it was 3+ for sure. And they had no doorknob for their front building. They moved into an apartment. They were paying rent, at least David was. And then I'm supposed to come and pay Raymond Hill's rent 3 months later when I move in? Why? To go fucking deal with a senile old man every month? Why? To pay David's rent and when he fucks up? Why? To move in a new roommate for David just for him to screw it all up? Why? Why should I be doing repairs on this landlord, on his failing building? Why should I be fixing up his window, putting foam insulation to stop gallons from the outside of his building? Why should I be doing all this work that's under the qualifications of plumbing, electrical, maintenance, window installer, outside repair, landscaping repair? Then none of this stuff has anything to do with me. Yet I got a landlord coming screaming at my door that we should do his landscaping on a hill for him. We got a landlord saying that we should pay him for his bugs. We got a guy saying that the pipes are broken when we moved in, but he wants us to heat the pipes so they don't break some more. He wants us to stick a heater. The first year we move in, he wants us to put a heater in down here in this cabinet right there. He wants us to put a heater right there to heat the pipes downstairs and upstairs so he doesn't have any burst. That's why we put that foam there, was for that damn heater set up. But then I said, wait a minute. Why are we heating this landlord's pipes? Our bills are already in the 400 range. I'm not doing this. And we stopped heating the pipes. Then the landlord goes, if you don't heat the pipes for me, you guys have to pay for any pipes. I go, we have the heater on in the kitchen. We're heating the pipes. But we're not going to stick a fucking special heater down in a hole and plug it into our electricity that we're paying for just to heat the downstairs and upstairs pipes. I've never heard of such a thing. We'll run the heat normally. In the kitchen, we will run the heat. But the landlord wants us to heat his damn pipes, and they're broken, they're bursting, they're in tough shape. When 2 people upstairs run their shower at the same time, we get our ceiling tiles coming down over in this spot over here. Also, the walls are thin, so every word I say to you on this camera, I guarantee you the whole building is hearing. So yeah, when upstairs, when the 2 people run their showers, or I don't know which pipe it is, but when they both run something, right here starts pouring down like you've seen on the video in buckets. If they use less water and one of them turns it off, it'll slow it down to a drip. And then when they turn off that, whatever valves those are, the pressure goes back, the leaking stops. But this has been going on for 6 years, and you can look at the video to see what we're talking about. Every time it rains, that crack leaks, goes down this wall. Now we can close it completely. That's completely closed, as you can see. It's closed everywhere. Storm window inside, and it will pour where? Right down there. That's where it's going to pour, because the water is going to go along there, straight flooding and filling up there, going straight down into the electric heater. Since day one. That's probably at least 15 years of rot up there, but I would say closer to 10. It probably was a pinhole, and now it's been dripping for so long, it's closer to 10. But we always had water coming in from that outside. Same thing with the bedroom. They have it upstairs, downstairs. These 3 apartments are all having that same problem. The landlord is just tackling us one at a time. And most of us don't even tackle the problem. Most people just move out, leave some other child or old people that get sick. That's what Rochester, a poor town, figures they can do forever. Just keep on doing this until the landlord gets caught or he gets a lawsuit or something happens. But they'll just keep on moving people in a rotation. When somebody goes to code enforcement in Rochester, New Hampshire, like the 4 tenants, since I've lived here downstairs, the tenants above me, us, You know what they tell us each time? Why don't you just move out and let somebody else get sick? Every time. Why don't you move out and let somebody else get sick? We're not going to do anything about it because that's easier. We won't do anything. We'll not make the landlord do anything, and we'll just let somebody else deal with it. Let somebody else deal with it. Let somebody else deal with it. Yeah, well, what type of Christian, what type of Catholic, what type of good-souled person would I be if I put another child or elderly person in person without at least getting the reports finalized, without making sure that when I leave, that this problem is actually taken care of for the upstairs neighbors and the downstairs? Fuck me. How about the rest of the community of Rochester?